Problems, problems, and more problems. Is a problem-free life even possible? Or did God intend for us to be constantly burdened and challenged? Join me at my next workshop entitled Problems. Can life exist without them? We'll explore the answer to this question and many more.
Saturday, March 24th. Visit drallencarter.com and register today.
How often have you heard people say, I like to do things my way? Or, I don't want to be bossy, but I do know how to get things done. Do these statements sound familiar? Do they reflect what you think about yourself? What if all your thinking is really a way of denying God? Join us and see if your thoughts are taking you away from God. This is Who Am I? Who am I? Who? Our purpose is to awaken.
Who am I?
To awaken to absolute truth.
Am I?
Who am I?
Who? Our purpose is to awaken to absolute truth.
Absolute
Truth.
Our purpose is to awaken. Are they one and the same? Absolute truth. That's our purpose.
Who am I?
Okay, in the previous show we were looking at, we took as a takeoff the scripture, where Jesus said, of myself I can do nothing. And we were trying to look at power. Nobody wants to consider themselves impotent. We all have to navigate this world. And we all develop, there are many theories of psychology about how you create your personality, this personality that you think is you. By the way, do you know that what is this? No trick. All right, they want a trick question. All right. This is the same as your personality. Personality comes from the Greek word persona. And persona means mask. Like in the Greek symbols of, they had a sad face and a happy face for a drama. To have drama, you got to have a mask. And that's where they used to have plays back in Greek time. People walk around with masks on. But they didn't really know that this is a mask. Okay? So we were looking at this thing called power. Is the power your mask? All right? Or is there another power? Okay? And this is what we're looking at. Because we're interested in what's the source. We're trying to be religious, okay? I know a lot of people said, no, you ain't, okay? You are far from being religious, maybe in the traditional sense. But if you take the word, what religion literally means going to the source. And this is what we're trying to find out. The source has to be truth. Now, what is that? Okay, now that's the question. I think we left off with Letitia having, asked a question. And I promised her that we would start off with her, that, we can get into her question. So you want to state your question again? If you remember it. Put you on the spot, didn't I?
I think my question was based off of my belief in that there is only one, there is no duality. That God is all there is. And even though we appear as separate individuals, we're all one. We're all part of this one thing, and this one source, and this one power. And I believe that the statement for me, and I'm not a Christian, I don't go to, I'm a New Thought person and metaphysics. And I believe that the statement that was made acknowledging that, realizing that he is Jesus is one with spirit, and that his oneness, when he recognizes this oneness and moves about from this oneness, knowing that all there is God, he was able to do all the things that they said he did.
Okay.
So that was sort of what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And that was sort of my question. My question was really asking, is what you were saying is I was trying to wrap my mind around the way you were saying what you were saying, if that is what you were saying or trying to say, or was it something else? Am I still not getting it?
Well, no, I think what you're asking, expresses a lot of what some people believe. Like you said, you're a little thought in metaphysics, or even some more traditional religions may have, or whatever. Like I think there is a verse in the Bible that says we were created in the image and likeness of God. Okay, now. Somebody mentioned in the last class, I think it was you, Jock, that mentioned that you got to know what God is. Okay? So, as you were saying, Letitia, you're saying God is one. All right? Right?
God is all there is.
All that there is. Okay? Now, that's the premise. And you have to know your premise to know, well, now it's true because everything comes from your premise. Okay? Now, so we first have to find out, is all there is? Okay? Well, yes. Okay? There is something called existence. And there is only existence. There cannot be non-existence. Okay? Or you can call it being. All right? Be means to exist. All right? So yes, God, when I say God, I have to watch that word because everybody's been conditioned to God. Muslims would call it Allah. Christians might call it Jehovah or Jesus or whatever. So let's call it the infinite existence. All right? And that is infinite. And infinity cannot know anything called not itself. All right? That's the premise, and that's absolute. Because it is absolute that there is only existence. Non-existence cannot not exist. Okay. Anyway, you get what I'm saying, all right? There can only be existence, okay? Now, what Letitia is asking, she said, were we, like Jesus, okay, or Buddha, or any enlightened being? Christians say that Jesus is the Messiah. The Buddhists would say Buddha was the enlightened one, okay? However you want to express it. But they're referring to a being that is perceptible to the senses, right? There was supposedly Jesus, and there were 12 disciples, and supposedly he taught and walked around Galilee, and he taught to people, went on the Sermon on the Mount, gave the Sermon on the Mount, and all that kind of stuff. He did normal human stuff. He ate, he even drank wine. We don't know about his sexual life. He might have had one, might not. I don't care. All right? Hope he did. All right? But anyway, that's my fantasy, But anyway, the point, though, is he did what we call normal human things. Now, we have to ask, can a human and all coexist? Okay? Because when you use the plural of our first person singular, you said we. Okay? And so that means more than one. So, can all know of something that is not all? And that's a legitimate question. Because see, your assumption is that there is something called probably a you or an I. You call yourself I, right?
A little I.
Yeah, you think you exist, right? I don't want to put words in your mouth. Do you think that you exist? Yeah, because you think. Yeah, of course you do. I mean, I'm not trying to trick you up in any kind of way, embarrass you, because I think her question is very legitimate. Okay, so I'm not trying to disrespect you or your question. I think it has a lot of gold to it, all right? So this is what we're getting to, because, see, once you think, you're caught in the human condition, all right? You will have, and the human condition, as Bahir was saying in the last class, it has to have duality. I have to think what? About something. I have that preposition. So there's two. I think about money, or I think about whatever. So now you're asking, can this infinite, okay, can it now have something called a thought, like a human thought? Or can it tolerate or accept that there is something called a human thought? Now, it's interesting. If you go to science, they would say everything began with Big Bang. They just came up with that theory maybe about 50 years ago or something like that, okay? But they were saying that Big Bang being the creation of time, space, and matter. Everything that's perceptible, okay? This is before Big Bang. All. The infinite presence, omnipresence. This, now notice I said before. Okay? See, once I said before, I have brought up now time. That's because the human mind has to, this thing that thinks, has to think in time. All right? And once I have time, I will have space. As Einstein said, he called it space-time. They are, one came this without the other. And now I have something called space-time, which now, eternity or now, it's like, how can you have space-time and eternity? Okay? See, what you have to do is, once you think, you're going to obey the laws of thinking. You will think you exist as a human. And you have to account for that human. Okay? Now, when you went to bed last night, okay, you may have dreamed about Denzel. I'm going to make it nice for you. Give you a nice okay. I didn't say Flavor Flav. All right? I'm going to make it a nice, pleasant dream. You and Denzel, all right? Now, there appear to be a Letitia and a Denzel. And they both were doing something. We won't ask what, all right? And they both appeared to have minds. That Letitia was talking to Denzel, and Denzel was talking to Letitia, and they both had little private minds. Just like it looks like I have a little private mind, and I'm talking to the 12 of you, and you all have your little private minds going, that's crazy. You know, where, you know, he needs to be locked up, whatever. You know, whatever that your little thoughts are telling you, and you're interpreting what you think you're hearing. You ain't hearing me, you're interpreting me. But you have a little mind that's separate from Jock's mind, that's separate from Gloria's mind, that's separate from Jesus' mind. How did all those little minds get to be when there's only omniscience, one mind, as you said, one all? Yeah, you have followed.
I don't really believe that all the minds are really separate.
Okay, what? So there's only one mind.
There's only one mind.
Then what?
And there are some people, I mean, this is going off on something else, but that are able to pick up on knowing that there's only one mind, and they're able to pick up on thought.
And then what do?
What do
They
you mean?
probably tell somebody about it, or write about it or something.
Right.
Okay? Then they're saying they're all the minds.
Say?
Then the premise is that they are talking to all the minds. See, a human has to have all the minds.
I see what
Okay? You see, it's like I think I got a mind and I'm talking to your mind.
Right.
All right? That Jesus was talking to Peter. Okay, that Jesus had a mind and Peter didn't understand all that Jesus was saying. Okay, or whatever. That's human. But that's the dream, like you and Denzel. All right? It's the dream. All right? We have to obey the law of separation in the dream. That there are separate little minds. That I have a mind and Carol has a mind. Okay, or whatever. And the body is just a way of verifying that the separation is real. Okay, that Carol's body is over there in space, and I'm over here. And I'm always here, and I can never be there. You always there. Okay, so there's always a here and a there. God is there, and I'm here. Okay, but can that be true of the all? And this is what, but see, you can't get there. That's why I'm a liar. Alan Carter, I ain't a human. I don't want to give up being human. Okay? Because I think. I don't want to give up this thinking mechanism. Okay, so I will have beliefs. That's all beliefs are, just thoughts. Okay, solidified. Okay, so it's really I can't stop thinking. All right, so it's like, oh, am I forever caught? Well, I can play the game, and as Raphael likes to say, I can get to maybe I can do all kind of methods. I can meditate. I can do yoga. I can pray. I can get high on drugs. Okay, or whatever to change or alter this mental state, okay? But it still is always there. The closest you come to God is in deep sleep because you ain't there as a thought, okay? And that's, the mind that thinks is not there. When you with Denzel, the thinking mind is there. But in deep sleep, you ain't there as a thinker, okay? Yeah, see, these three questions, all right, the basis of human. Okay, you have to get clear on what a human is. Okay, see, there is something a human has to say that there is this and there is this, lack and limitation. Okay, that if there was no air in this room, as a body you would die. Okay, because you identify as a body, and you always come from something called I got to do something. Got to go to work to get you some money so you can go to Kroger or whatever. Okay, get you some food. And you think because you are a body, you think you're limited somewhere in time and space. Okay? And that's the basis of human. So if a human can't exist, then what happened to the all that can it all produce lack? Okay? Can there be an absence within all? And see, now you're getting into, because see, a human has to justify being human. I think. And these thoughts just keep coming. Okay? So the thing is, yes, it appears, let's say that Jesus, Buddha could do, I think that it appears that Jesus did walk on water. Or Buddha did do miraculous things. Or Lao Tzu or whoever. Okay? That the masters can go into what appears to many different dimensions. Even string theory says, science says there are 11 different dimensions. Now, do you know what 11 dimensions would look like? No. You can't know really what 4 or 5 dimensions would look like because we restrict ourselves. So there appears to be that you can go into these other dimensions and access, and it appears that they are pouring forth through you. The stiller you get, the quieter you can make your mind, it appears that you can do things, okay, or things can be done through you. So it appears that way. But still, there's this human that appears to be there. See, it's kind of like I was saying to Letitia, if she can dream about, how crazy your dreams are. Or I am not the only one who has crazy dreams. Okay, she and Denzel could be doing everything. They could be flying or whatever. But what happens to Denzel as well as Letitia when she wakes up? It disappears. Okay? What happens to the river when it flows into the ocean? There's no more river. Okay? So, to truly, if Jesus or Buddha were truly awake, then
He would have to disappear.
well, let me tell you this. You know what Jesus is? A thought within me.
Right.
A Buddha. You're just a thought within me. Now, who's me? Am I Alan Carter? This is why you got to get back to I, because everything is dependent upon I. I is always the subject, and I cannot tolerate. I'm a jealous guy. I can't tolerate another. All cannot tolerate anything else. Okay?
That is not unlike.
That is unlike it. Okay? So, I'm not sure if I'm answering your question. Maybe, the thing though is, yes, I like the analogy. Suppose you have a 20-story building, and on the basement of the building is Hitler. Okay? And the 20th story is God. Now, there ain't really no 20-story buildings. But let's say that there you can get on an elevator and go to the 10th floor, the 18th floor, and maybe a Jesus or a Buddha were on the 19th floor. Okay? But then when they get to the 20th floor, ain't no building. You get what I'm saying? Okay? That's kind of the analogy. So yes, it appears that, a person like a Jesus or a Buddha or a enlightened being, okay, they may be on the 19th floor and it looks like things are happening through them, that they're doing nothing. But it looks like they're doing something. It looks like Jesus was walking on water, okay? And then you had 2 loaves of bread and some fish, and he fed a multitude or whatever. It looked like he was doing that. Or it looked like he was on a cross and died and then came back. It looked that way. But to whom does it look? Who's saying it? I am. Now, what is this I that is always saying and thinking something? That's where you want to keep going, and you will keep going, and you will keep going, and yes, you will get to where you are, but don't stop there. Okay? Don't stop anywhere. That's why I say don't trust anything anybody. Don't trust what I'm saying, because I'm lying. All right? You go where, keep going, and then because infinity has no stop signs. Okay, Raphael was next, then Gloria.
Dr. Carter, let me refer you to the time and space, which is really, it's an illusion, and you can connect the thoughts too. So the only thing that exists here is going into quantum physics and metaphysics, in which you find that circumstances and events in life unfold, and there's a self-discovery in those things. So the only things that exist is energy that is flowing everywhere, which I can define God too as an energy flowing in this universe. And all the study, all the research that has been conducted is about this energy flowing through the whole universe. That the only things that we can say that exist with that is love.
Well,
because energy is love.
it's interesting. Within the last 10 years, science has come out with something called dark energy. What's that? Okay? It's the opposite of what we think energy is. Now, what is it? Science has now come up with something called antimatter. What's that? Okay, ask the scientists that. They say there's dark energy, which is not like energy. Now, what's that? That's why I said don't stop. Science says, we thought that, we thought that was nothing but Newtonian physics. And then, Einstein came up with relativity. And then Einstein stopped there and he couldn't go into quantum. Now, what's beyond that? Okay, so that's why you don't stop. All right. Yes, you might have you always have to have something to stand on. That's your understanding. All right. Your understanding, however, is limited. I don't care if you're Einstein. Okay. Whoever, Jesus, your understanding is something you're standing on, and that which you're standing on comes through your mind, and that is limited. Okay. The best thing you can say is, I don't know. That's the most truthful thing you can say. All right? So, okay, we got quickie, because we only have 2 minutes left. Gloria, you were next, and then,
I don't think mine is a quickie.
Okay.
And I don't really know. Okay, got distracted. Okay, in the last show you said something about ask questions. Ask questions. Get to that which is real. And then I heard the other question, can a human and all coexist? So what I'm hearing is that human identity, that human being, that human lacking, fearful thinker is trying to bridge that separation of all and human limited.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of concepts about how we are connected to the all. we have all the words, all the verbiage that's on the board, and all the verbiage that we put out to identify what truth is.
Yeah.
And as you said, every time you open your mouth, you're doing nothing but lying. You're a liar. Alan Carter, Gloria is a liar. That human mind does not want to get that. It does not want to get that human does not
Right,
exist.
and I'm gonna have to stop
Okay,
here.
go ahead.
Okay, no, you're bringing up something very important there. Yeah, and but that doesn't mean that you should drop where you are.
Right.
If you're a Christian, stay a Christian. That works for you. Or if you are Buddhist, or Muslim, or atheist, or agnostic, I don't care. All right, like Raphael was saying, that gets you to some peace of mind. Do it. All right, or if you're a junkie. Well, but anyway, the point though is, but be willing to realize that what you're clinging to clings on to you. Okay? And yeah, so all right, so I'm gonna have to stop, and we will take up from here next week. Thank you. Problems, and more problems. Is a problem-free life even possible? Or did God intend for us to be constantly burdened and challenged? Join me at my next workshop entitled Problems. Can life exist without them? We'll explore the answer to this question and many more.
Saturday, March 24th. Visit dralancarter.com and register today.
I wish I was in school.
If only I had a math test today.
Or a book report to give.
I wish I was in school.
I'll stay after class. I'll clean the chalkboard. I'll do extra homework. I'll skip recess.
I wish I was in school.
I wish I was in school.
I really wish I was in school.
School ends, but free lunches for your kids don't have to. Find your local Feeding America food bank for help. Together, we're feeding America.